In Python programming or any computer language programming, basically there are a few there are a few things you need to know. The first is data types. This is the what we are going to study in this session. There will be a multiple session on the data types. I'm going to take one by one data types and explain the advantages and the usage and disadvantages. So I'm going to list out these are the data types. There are a number type of data types. Basically what exactly it means, the data types means these are the data. It might be a numbering system. Numbering means what kind of numbers, whether it is a positive, zero, negative, yes, and is it a decimal numbers, yes, and complex numbers, yes. So all these comes under the numbering systems. That is a number type of data type. Then coming to the list, under what exactly the list, it is order sequence. Tuple is also ordered sequence. Strings is once again a word, English words, alphabets, okay, and then sets, and then dictionary. So all these things we are going to study one by one in a brief and effective way with practical examples on the programming window. Let's, without much delay, let's start with the first numbering systems. Right now you see the numbering systems here. What you see, the numbering systems. Under this we are going to study first integer, then float, then complex numbers. So first integer. Under that integer. Okay, so basically the integer is nothing but it is a combination of positive number and negative number. So 0 here and comma 1, 2, 3 and so on till infinity, and here -1, -2, -3, -4, something like this. So till infinity. So this is the range of numbering system. Within that range you can use anything, any numbers, okay, that comes under integer category. So the type of the type is called int type, okay, in the programming. So this is called integer type. I'll show you one by let me go to the programming window and I'll show you how exactly this will be declared, okay. So now you see here, let me take one simple example. Okay, so what I'm going to write here is integer. So a equals to 5, this is the integer. A equals to -5, that is also integer. A equals to 0, a equals to 105, a equals to -125. Write anything that is part of the integer. So let me show you how, for example, how to see which type of data set it is in the program. There is a function called type, okay, that is a type function, okay. So what exactly it will give is this function will give you, I'll put a comment here, this function will return to output window, will return a result as which kind of what data set it is, what data set it is, okay. So to To get the data, we need to pass the value a here. So let me put variable a. I'm going to change the variable because it will be confusion later on. So that's b, and then this is a c, sorry, this is c, and then this is d, then this is e. Okay, sorry, this is e. So let me, I put type a here. I'm going to put here print. Okay, I'm going to put print. See, if I execute the program here, if I execute the program, you see here below class int. What you mean by class? That is a question here. Class, you know, class is the group of all the characters, all the, I'll come to that point later in depth, but right now you consider this is a class. In the programming, you will come across the word class and object. These are the two terms which will come across the programming. I'll explain and I'll take a separate session on the class and the object. At this moment, if you want to understand that one, just pause here and just go to my channel and playlist. You find the class and object complete details, and come back and here and understand. That is the best way. So right now I see the class is int. Int is the short form which will write in the programming. Even if you take here b, it will give you the answer same, because it is a class int, because it is an integer. Now let me change c, so it will give the same answer. So let's put e, it will give the same answer. You see, everything gives the same answer. This is the integer, this is the example. Okay, let's go back to the slide where we are explaining about the next one content. So here this is int. Now let's go with other one, which is float. Okay, in this float, the numbering system, everything same, 0 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here -1, -2, -3, so on infinity. Here also infinity. Here is the difference. This is similar to the integer, but I'm going to change this one. The float is nothing but decimals. The numbering system represents in the decimal format. I'll put 0, this let it be 0. I'll put 0 here. I'll put 0. I'll put 0. I'll put 0. I'll put 0. So on. Even in the minus side, same thing. Minus side, same thing. Okay, something like this. So let me put a comma so that it will be show a difference between the numbering systems. So this is how it is. For example, the difference between, I'm telling you, the integer and the float. For example, if you want to pick the number in between 0 and 1, that is always a decimal. It contains a decimal number. That is not possible to showcase on the integer. So that's where the float comes into picture. It will take and it will give an accurate fraction part of the content of the numbering system. Integer always go with the whole number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the round numbers. Okay, there is no decimals. But float is not like that. It will read 1 also, it will read 2 also, but the representation is always like 1.0, 2.0, like that, decimal positions. So anything in between, you see it's a 1.5, it's a 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. Everything is part of the float. This kind of numbering system, you're not able to get it from the integer. Got it? So that's the reason float is very important. Let's go to the programming window and see how exactly this will work. So let me put here 5.0, okay, minus 5.0, 0 here, minus 0.0, and I do not change anything here, just I changed the point up, the decimal point 0. These are, even though they are the integer round numbers, but the presentation is decimal. So let me run the program here. You see here the class is float. The class is you see the output here, the class is float. So anything, let me change to a, okay, sorry, let me change to a. The result shows class is float. I'll change here b as 2, 5.2 minus 5.2. Let me read and change the value to b. So here you see this is also class float. So what I told is the same, 0 to positive side, any infinity number value, but decimal should be there on the numbering system. Even same thing towards the negative side, infinity but decimal. So that's where this will read the exact fraction. This will read exact fraction, exact position between the two whole numbers. So that's where the float into come into picture. Let me go to the slide and let me explain. The next one is complex number. I'll go with complex number. Let me delete these things. Third one is complex. So so the complex number is always adds with j. For example, 1 plus 2j. J is the imaginary number. This will be used most of the time in the mathematical calculation in the programming. So that's where the complex numbers come into picture. For example, if I use if you incorporate anything number followed by j, that is belongs to the complex. Let's go to the, for example, let's go to the programming window and see how exactly it works. So now I'm going to type here j, okay. So I'm going to write here a. Let's see what exactly it will give. You see here the complex, class belongs to complex. Let me put here j. See, let's try whether the float number, if I put in front of that j, whether that will consider as a complex. Okay, let me put j and b here, b, and right. Yes, exactly, it accepts even minus numbers. So it means, let me go back here. I'll tell you how exactly in the on the paper. This is same, okay, whatever you see, the number is same. In front of this I put j, in front of this I put j, in front of this I put j, even here. This becomes a complex. Here you can put in here also you can put j, here also you can put j, it works. Even on the float number also, after the number if you put j, that works. That is also part of the complex. These numbering systems will be used in the mathematical operations in the advanced level. Okay, so this is only 3 kind of numbering types in the program which can be used as a part of the data set and numbering types in the Python programming. If you go to any other computer language programming, C, C++, Java, you have to know the data types. There are a different there are data types, but the naming convention, categories and group, whatever they made, is a different calling systems. But in the Python it is called number types. Okay, that's it all about on this. Let's go to the next content of the data type. I'm requesting, if you like it, I request you to subscribe, like, comment, okay, share to your friends if you like it. Really, that is the only one help requesting. Yeah, thank you.